As you probably noticed from this title, today in today's video, I'm going to bring you through a company, a brand that does over $600 million every single year. They are a growing company. They are a brand that are focused in the supplement space, and it's a subscription model. And so I'm going to bring you through their exact model, why it works, how they were able to grow, and just so we get the proof out of the way so you know that I am qualified to speak about these things. I typically work with 7 and 8 figure clients, in case you didn't know and you are a new viewer, but this is just one of them that is $32,000 just yesterday. We're hovering around $30,000 to $40,000 in sales every single day. So now that we got the proof out of the way, let's get right into this video. The company that I'm going to talk about is called AG1, right? And so this is their website. They're focused on essentially a solution that has 70 different ingredients, supports metabolism, supports gut health. It's basically a 365-degree solution. And this is how they're selling it. It's basically $100 a month. And I'm going to bring you through their exact pricing and offers. But it's like a solution. It's like an entire kind of like solution that has everything that you need just in one kind of like experience, right? And so it has multivitamins, minerals, gut-friendly bacteria, gut-friendly fiber, antioxidants, whole foods, high-quality mushrooms. They're basically everything in one, and all of these things. And then, of course, they also have like research documents to prove everything. And so this is also an added benefit. And so they're essentially selling the experience and a full package solution instead of wasting money on like $100 a month on like multivitamins or another $100 a month. And so it's also a solution that saves a lot of money. Now, before we get deeper into everything, just so we're on the same page, these are the exact same things that I'm going to discuss in this video. So, we're on the same page. The $600+ million funnel in 1 minute, I'm going to bring you through their exact process from ad to checkout. How they scale with offers and landing pages. I have many different things to speak about over here, so stick around. The affiliate marketing strategy that they're using to spend over $2 million a month, $2 million a month in affiliate marketing spend, and how they're actually doing that strategically. I'm going to talk about multiple different things, not just Instagram as you may think, but another cool strategy that nobody's really using too much. And their 9-figure creative strategy with UGC and more, pretty much how they're scaling their entire creative infrastructure. And then, of course, as usual, if you're a new viewer, you probably don't know, but I always like to give out a free gift on every single video, and stick until the end if you want to know what it is. It's definitely one of very, very valuable resource. Great, so let's take a deeper analysis on the brand on Archer. In case you are a new viewer, Archer is an amazing one, a really amazing tool that I highly recommend for you to download. Not download, but subscribe to. But it's essentially a spy tool. You can track everything: headlines, landing page, or personas. What I like to do is go in here and track and filter by longest running ads. Let's take a look at how many active ads they have. So 700 active ads, definitely a lot of ads. And so they're spending millions of dollars. Especially knowing the fact that they are a direct-to-consumer brand. They're not really into retail locations last time I checked. So it's just really purely advertising, direct response marketing to direct consumers. And then, of course, they have multiple other channels, which I'll go through in just a second. But before we go into the sales process to fulfill my first promise, I do also want to quickly go over just a bit of information. As you can see, this is the article from Forbes that says 600 million in 2024. This is their monthly traffic, around 3 million, 3.2 million visits, 2.3 million visits in February. So somewhere in the middle probably is the accurate answer. But we also have to understand that if we actually just do a multiplication here, like $100 AOV, 2-3% conversion rate. If they get 3 million visitors, it's actually like, I think, $100 million, but they're doing $600 million. That is essentially all also recurring. The recurring aspects of this offer is something that you need to identify as well. So typically, based on what I'm understanding, they're really focusing on retention, and they have like a 50-60% retention rate, which is allowing them to scale to $600 million a month. At the end of the day, a good product is also seen just by these things, right? You can't really scale a company to multiple 9 figures if you don't have a really, really good product. And so it seems like this experience that they're selling, it's really resonating with the market, and it's also providing the health benefits, right? So that's, now they got that out of the way, they're also running Amazon, so they're distributing. So they're probably doing around 15-20 million plus per year, just solely on Amazon, if not more. As you can see, 3,000, 4,000 units, another 3,000, another 1,000. And so they're selling this entire thing. I don't even see the kit here. The kit is probably even more. I just can't find it over here. Now that I got this out of the way, let's go through the sales process. Let's get through a random offer. This is going to be the ad. It seems like this is maybe a landing page, goes through the offer and the added benefits. They all like to give free stuff. They're increasing the perceived value. I really like how they're presenting this. So they're essentially selling the AG1 pouch, which is 30 servings per pouch, and it's a subscription, $3 a day, easy sell. And so and they also get a bunch of other things. So I really like the offers. Any offer that you have, instead of just selling a product, I mean to say, instead of just selling a product, you have to find a way to sell and repackage a cool offer, because it's always gonna increase the conversion rate if you compare it to like a normal like offering when you're just selling a product, right? This is always gonna beat it, right? And so they're obviously, I'm gonna go through these things later, but this is the checkout. Let's go through the offers. It's another landing page. Claim your offer, and then you basically have a single, which is £80. It's a UK company, and so almost like $100. And then there's double servings, which is 60 servings, £150, right? And then there's also the option to do one-time purchase just to test it out, which is obviously more expensive, but they're really pushing people towards the subscription model as much as possible. And then, of course, as I said before, we get free gifts, like this serum or whatever, the vitamins and the cap, right? Cool things. And then you can subscribe, and then there's a travel pack as well. Let's see what happens when we move forward into the deal. It's on Shopify. I like how they added all the benefits over here, so you can really see the stacked perceived value. And they're also adding other subscriptions or other orders as upsells on the checkout. To do this, you need basically Shopify Plus. Nothing special. You just need to upgrade. It's a bit more expensive, but it's definitely worth it. Especially if you're already doing over $100,000, $200,000 a month, just get it. It's could potentially be worth it also to just add upsells over here. Really simple sales process, okay? Very quick note before proceeding with this video, which I hope is of value to you. I wanted just to mention that you may or may not know that we own Brandlex Media, an e-commerce growth agency. We essentially partner with brands, and we bring them from 7 to 8 figures, or from 8 figures to multiple 8 figures, of course. And so if you are stuck and you feel like you're reaching a ceiling because of time, resources, knowledge, a creative foundation, whatever that reason is, please feel free to book a call. If you're a brand doing at least $100,000 a month, you'll qualify for the call. We can have a call. We can have just a normal conversation and understand what's actually stopping you. What are the bottlenecks? What are the walls that you're facing that is stopping you to getting that 500K a month, million a month, 2 million a month, whatever that number is. Okay. So book a call. We'll have just a call, and then we'll explore the opportunity of potentially partnering up. But most importantly, it's going to be a valuable call because we're going to share an audit and go through a lot of different things together, specifically about your brand. Okay. I hope this is going to be valuable to you, and I'll leave you to this video and enjoy. Now that we got this out of the way, let's get into how they were scaling with offers and landing pages, because it's one of the most important things that I've seen them doing, other than, of course, the other things that I'm going to talk about later. But let's quickly see what they're doing with landing pages very quickly, and then we'll dive deeper into the ads, because it's really interesting how they're doing their ads. So it seems like they're doing different offers. So, this is one offer. This is another offer. Another offer. They definitely have 100%, 1,000% of CRO team. And so if we open up these pages, these are basically what the pages look like. They're all different in terms of also the offerings as well, because this is actually, they're selling a kit. I also saw that they're selling also another offer. Over here, let's see what, this is also presented in another way. If they're selling the same offer, it's presented definitely in another way. The travel pack, right? Single subscription, double subscription. As you can see, the prices are also different. You can also try it once. So it seems like they're mostly testing the packaged experience and how they're presenting the product, which is in itself also kind of like a differentiator, right? And so what they're doing over here is that they're essentially scaling with multiple different offers, but more than like multiple different offers, they're stacking and doing a lot of CRO. So they're split testing the headline over here, different headlines, different CTA buttons. As you can see, this different checkout process. All of these things are detrimental, and then of course they're tracking all the results. I mean, this is also what we do. We're being very scientific with the clients that we're scaling. For example, right, we have a CRO tracking sheet that essentially tracks every single test that we launch. And so we typically do one test a week, so 4 or 5 tests a month for each client. And so we essentially add everything, so it's super well organized and documented. If you're not doing CRO, and they're definitely doing it, they're essentially like all of these pages, they're selling the same exact product, but they're showcasing the landing pages and the offer in different ways. Okay, so that's why they're testing all of these different kind of like, you know, landing pages, and they have different handles over here, right? It's literally because all of these look different, but they're saying the same thing, and they're just trying to find the offer that resonates, or sorry, the structure that resonates the most with the market and gives them the highest average order value. Okay, as you can see, this is a landing page that just goes to their homepage. This is another landing page that goes to this scientific research page, right? This is another landing page that goes, I think this is just, I'm a step ahead, the immunity CTR, right? This one, I'm not sure if you can see the URL. That's what it says. But this is presented in another way, right? Backed with science, right? So it's different structures. And so what I really like about the offers in general is that everything is super high perceived. The packaging is really, really high perceived. In fact, now that there's ChatGPT 4.0 image generator, if you don't have all of these professional shots like this one, or you know, things like this, add them, use it, leverage it, give inspiration. If you're selling like a supplement, something concept like them, take their images, put them in ChatGPT 4.0 and give them an image of your product as well, and tell it, give it some instruction to recreate something cool, and it's going to be super, super realistic. And this is kind of what you need to really increase that perceived value, brand your store, charge more, right? And so these are basically the steps that you need to take. Scoop it, put it in, shake it, and enjoy it. And so really, really straightforward. If there's one takeaway from this, as you can see, look how many landing pages and different types of content they're studying and they're testing. Do that for sure. They're also doing a 4 reasons. Seems like 4 reasons to make AG1 part of your daily routine. So kind of like an advertorial style. Very similar kind of like concepts. They're still touching base on similar things, but it's like a different structure, right? And the offer is the same, right? So you get the point. Now that we got this out of the way, let's talk about the affiliate marketing strategy, which I think is actually genius, and then we'll dive deeper to the creative strategy, the UGC, and what they're doing with their ads. And just so you see, just so I give you a teaser, they're doing a lot of things with their ads. 8,000 ads, of which 700 are active, which is a lot of millions of dollars every single year in ad spend. And they're doing many different concepts. We'll talk about these later, so stick until then, because this is also really, really important. They're spending millions every single month, okay? I'll talk about the storyboards and the scripts that they're using, and also the structure of UGC and how you can do the same, and how you can scale it in a very cheap way as well, okay? Now, let's talk about the affiliate marketing strategy. One thing that I do want to note here as we go through this is that in affiliate marketing, it's really, really good to make sure that you have a differentiating factor when it comes to choosing the right creators. And so since creators have different personalities, it's also true that creators can also adhere to different types of marketing angles. So creator number one, you can give them the product and tell them to promote the product with like a simplified habit, or overall health, energy levels, daily nutrition. There's so many different angles that you can approach marketing with. And this is also one thing that I really recommend for you to do, to scale horizontally within marketing angles, so that you can essentially spend more on your marketing dollars and attract new customers that you have never attracted, because maybe one customer only resonates with gut health, or another customer type only resonates with energy levels. And so if you're doing both at the same time, right, you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And so let's go over this concept very quickly. What are they doing with affiliate marketing? So first of all, I noticed that they're doing a lot of different types of partnerships on Instagram. Let me just pull up something else here, just so we see it. They're doing a lot of different type of things with social media and the content approach. As you can see, they're getting 86 million views, 40 million views. They've created their own hashtag, and all of this is mostly through like affiliate program structures, where they're giving also 20%. This is an article that I'm reading that gives me more information on what they're doing on this side. And so It's all verified. And so 20% of sales, if you're trying to get your voice out there and you know that your product is good, it has the opportunity to really go viral. But regardless, either way, whether it has the opportunity if you think that goes viral or not, you should really focus on affiliate partnerships as well, because it gives you the boost, especially if you're starting out and you have you don't really have a seasoned pixel and you don't really want to get into paid ads immediately because it's really expensive and it's really saturated, right? Present yourself to the right influencer, and I can almost guarantee that as you start growing through trial and error and choosing the right people, you're going to start generating sales. And I recommend doing 50,000 followers, 100,000 followers, if you can, of course, more and bigger ones. Just make sure that you go in and check the engagement rates. They need to be at least 5% is a good one, or more, so that you know that the influencer is also really engaged. And when you see like a bunch of different strategies that they're using over here. One other thing that I'm going to talk about is that they're also doing a lot of whitelisting. Okay, I'm going to talk about that just later, but now let's get into what I think is a killer strategy, is podcast domination. They're spending $2.2 million on podcast, and they're also doing affiliate marketing, right? Podcasts are absolutely amazing. If you take a look at what they're doing over here with Joe Rogan actually has a page. If you go on YouTube and you search Joe Rogan, you're going to see that Joe Rogan has essentially a link to almost all of his videos, the links to the best supplements that Joe Rogan consumes, because he's a huge supplement dude. And so AG1 is like the top 3 that he's literally has a partnership with. And so I can guarantee you that they're paying him a lot of money, and then you can basically click here and it brings them to the website or Amazon. And so it's really, really good for them, because if you can leverage somebody else's authority, people really resonate and kind of value and judge your product based on who has it and holds it. So if Joe Rogan holds the product is automatically going to be perceived as something that is valuable, that works, that is serious, because everybody trusts Joe Rogan, right? Same thing with Trump. Trump went on the podcast on Joe Rogan podcast, and it had like billions of views, almost millions and millions of views, because and that helped him essentially become president, because a lot of people are associated with Joe Rogan. And so this is the same thing. It's brand. Trump is also a brand. Supplements is also a brand. So it's actually the same thing. I wanted to do that level of example, because it's like it happened recently, like 2, 3, 4 months ago, and it worked for them, and also they're doing it. So whether you're selling yourself as a personal brand or a product, it's definitely something that I highly recommend. And then they're also pushing them, I saw, to like Amazon. It's also growing Amazon. And thing is, when Amazon receives traffic and they see that they're getting traffic, it's also going to boost your organic rankings, from what I know, when it comes to Amazon. And so they do a lot of organic. What I've noticed, and what I was trying to say, is that they're getting quite a lot of traffic, but I can guarantee you that probably 15-20% of it is organic, just because they're blowing up on social media. They're doing a lot of strategic partnerships, which is really, really smart. And they're leveraging YouTube. Podcasting is done also on YouTube. Like when they say over here, like podcasting, like podcast is essentially YouTube. And if there's one thing that I've learned over time, is that YouTube views are super high intent. It's like Google, but on steroids, because they're actually consuming video content. And the conversion rates of Google are super, super high. First of all, we've done it with other clients. Second of all, I'm also a testament for my own YouTube channel. Every single lead that comes through my channel is super, super high intent, because they go through my videos, they go through my strategies, they're interested, they book in a call, and they essentially want to work with me. I don't even have to sell them on much, because everything is done through the podcast. In this example of the podcast, and my example is just like educational videos, right? Or tutorials or whatever. And so this is the same exact approach that they're using, and they're spending $2.2 million a month. So this is definitely untapped. Not a lot of companies, too many, are actually getting into the YouTube game, or the kind of like podcasting YouTube game strategy, affiliate strategy. And then of course, what you can do is that you can essentially go into the YouTube partner. The YouTube is like digital real estate, right? The videos stick on forever and they keep on getting views. I have some views on my YouTube channel that keep on pumping in views. Like really, it's really, really cool. And it's like literally digital real estate, and which is also very good for you, because whenever you have a creator that posts on your behalf and posts the content, they get views every single day, maybe even forever, and you can give them commission like 20%. and you kill two birds with one stone and they're happy. Okay, and typically collaborations on YouTube are also typically higher production because YouTubers are YouTubers. I don't need to explain that. They're very good with cameras and they have equipment. It's not like a UGC video, right? It's different. And then of course you can leverage that content and repurpose it and use it with ads and scale further. So this is the strategy that I wanted to speak about, specifically about affiliate marketing, because it's a genius strategy that not many people are doing. Now let's go over the 9-figure creative strategy, the UGC and more. So first of all, let's kind of see what type of ads they're running over here and why they're working. I see if there's one thing that I noticed. First of all, we can see that videos are 42%, images are 55%. You can see that they're doing a lot of image ads, before and afters, us versus them. A call to actions, direct offers. This is like a direct offer, save 50%. So they're testing a lot of different types of creative concepts, which is necessary for you to scale. If there's one way that you should scale, right, going back and taking a look at what we have going on here. This is one of our sheets. We scale with hooks, we scale with creative concepts, and we scale with messaging and angles. Okay, this is how you scale. You'll find out of like 6 angles, maybe 2 or 3 will work. You do that, and then you scale horizontally with different creative concepts, and then with a bunch of different hooks that you can test, right? This is really how you should scale and approach your marketing when it comes to social media and scaling. Okay, so first of all, let's take a look at what types of ads they're doing mostly when it comes to videos, because it seems like, whoops, the wrong page. It seems like it's really working well for them. Let's take a look at longest running ads, filter by active ads. Let's see what they're doing with their ads here. So this seems like an unboxing video, normal.
This has been my favorite way to start my mornings as a busy mom. And as a busy mom, I love the peace of mind of just knowing that I'm getting my foundational amount of nutrition just by taking it.
Just a normal UGC video. I'm trying to see what the creative concepts are.
In the middle of every single day, my energy used to crash. And with this new move that we just did and taking care of this crazy guy, my energy levels slowly depleted.
Don't miss this free welcome kit from AG1. It came with premium canister.
That's what I wanted to see. They're also doing a lot of B-rolls and combining B-rolls together. Let's take a look at some other examples.
This is why my mom stopped taking vitamin pills. Many vitamin pills don't dissolve properly, leaving you without the nutrients they promise. That's why there's AG1, a day.
Another type of B-roll, right? So what would I consider to do here is basically I've seen this ad going on for, since February, March, April. We're getting in basically 2 months. So it's been active for almost like 60 days, I think. Yeah, 57 days. So it's definitely profitable. Understand why this ad works. Take a look at the ad copy. Transcribe it. Right, once you transcribe it, this is the transcription of the entire voiceover. You can copy it, and then you can go on ChatGPT and tell it to create similar scripts or break it down by sections. We actually have something that we do many times, okay, is that, let me see if I can find it here. There it is. We actually break down ads so that we understand the psychology. We understand the ad framework. We break down the ad by scenes, scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, and we connect it with the right B-rolls. So we understand it. We understand the buying triggers. What are the buying motivations? The buying triggers. So is it the value? Is it the value stack? Is it the offer? Is it because it's founder trusted, right? Because the founder was in the ad? Is it the urgency? What components make the winning ad a winning ad? And then we understand what B-rolls are part of that winning ad, and we break the entire ad scientifically down. So what is the sequence? Offer, product demo, features, proof, CTA. If this is the case, then we dissect it by 2 to 3 second intervals so we understand. It's a very scientific approach. The winning ad is a winning ad because it literally does not lose people throughout the journey. So you can't just get a hook, the middle part of the video and the CTA, and then fill in your gaps however you want. I mean, you can do that, you can test it, but the best way, the most scientific and most profitable way to do this is actually understand all the incremental segments that are typically 3 to 5 seconds long, because that is our attention span. If you lose me, if you hook me over here, you're good, but if you lose me in like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds over here on the product demo, I'm away. I don't even see the features. I don't see the proof. I don't see the CTA. I don't see anything else, right? This is why the most important thing is the hook. So if you hook people, there's a higher chance they will consume the rest of the video. But if you can also optimize all of these other sections of the video just like the hook, then you're gonna have a banger. And these are the ads that pump in 20, 30, 50, $100,000 plus days, right? Which is not typical, but it's definitely something that is possible if you understand the psychology of breaking this down. Now, what did I want to speak about? They're mostly doing UGC videos, and they're doing two things here. They're doing UGC videos, as I showed you before, the traditional one. They give them a script, they do the video, and then they're also doing a lot of B-rolls. And once they get the B-rolls are essentially pieces of footage that are recorded where it's like 10 seconds, 12 seconds long, and it's them drinking the supplement, them being happy after it, or them being, feeling unenergized and low energy levels before using it. The hook, the transformation, all of that, the unboxing, the experience, all of that is basically pieces of B-rolls and footage. So we collect as many as we can. It's typically the same price as a normal UGC video. It's just like because it takes them way less time to do it. It's raw video, right? And so we collect a bunch of B-rolls, and then we give everything to the editor, and they put all the variations together based on the scripts you want to scale with. And then of course we're going to find winning scripts over here that is going to allow us to scale both vertically and horizontally. This is a really important aspect. Before I go into whitelisting, which is super important, I'm going to explain what whitelisting is. Let me just quickly give you a brief of how we do it internally at the agency. What we do is that to give them a very clear aspect of B-rolls, and I show this almost in all my videos, but it's really that important, is that we create like a 20-30 page document mostly for all of our clients that gives a very clear breakdown of what we're looking for to do. And so befores, right, B-roll number 1, and we show an example of our direct best competitor. In this case, it's whatever, we're selling like those plushies animals, koala animals, right? We work with a client that does that. And so we explain the B-rolls. Camera afar, laying in a messy bed in a few different positions, as if you can't sleep or bored, even legs where the pillow is reversed, right? Something like this, right? And so the creator knows exactly what they need to reproduce. They don't waste time. You don't waste time going back and forth. And you essentially give all of these resources to the creator, and they know exactly what they need to do, right? So it's very straightforward. And what you should do is that you could essentially, you create this document by looking at the winning ads over here and trying to identify what are the B-rolls, why these B-rolls, what types of B-rolls you need, right? Drinking, showing the product, showing the box, drinking again, whatever, them being happy, please, that's a B-roll alone, unboxing, all that stuff, probiotics, whatever, this is probably just AI. But yeah, you get the point. Hopefully you get the point, but this is really important and allows you to create a final ad. You can't really create this ad if you don't really have B-rolls, right? One other thing that is really smart, as I said before, is that you can leverage podcasts. I don't remember where they are. They have 600 ads, just as a reminder, so it's kind of hard to go through all of them. But I did see a couple podcasts where they're using essentially the podcast style. Maybe this is it. I can't find it again, but it's basically the podcast, and I think there's also Joe Rogan or somebody speaking about it, and it's adding authority, and that alone is a creative concept that is worth testing. Okay, now moving forward over here, what did I want to speak about? UGC, raw, authentic UGC video. So we have to understand that we're in the era of skepticism. As we go more on during the years over here, as we move on in time, this level of skepticism is going to increase just because people get more aware of marketing schemes, marketing scammers, and they just do their due diligence a lot more, which is why it's also really important to be on Amazon. Even if you don't sell like $1 billion on product on Amazon, even if you have like 20, 30, 50, 100 reviews on Amazon, it's really important for you to get approved on Amazon so people see you differently. If you're approved on Amazon, people see you differently because you have a different level of authority. And also, one thing that customers do is that they go on Google and they type in they do AG1 reviews, right? If you're not on Trustpilot or some other interesting or high authority source, including Amazon, as you can see here, it's one of the top ones. This is really going to help you increase the conversion rate of your product on Shopify, on Amazon, and overall from a holistic perspective. Okay, one thing that I do want to show you over here is that, as you can see, if we take a look at the top, if I'm not mistaken, I'm definitely not, but we gotta find them. They're doing whitelisting. You see, this is a profile of a creator. This is a profile of a creator. Let's find another one. They're doing different profiles, and they're using another one, a profile of another creator. And so they're essentially leveraging pages of creators, as it's called whitelisting, another creator. And this is adding authenticity to the ad, okay? They're essentially using the creator and the UGC creative that the creator provided, so that there is coherence between the ad that doesn't look like an ad because it's authentic and it's from a page of a person, right? At the same time, it boosts a conversion rate because it looks very authentic, right? At the same time. So they're also, as you can see here, they're partnering with famous athletes. And so if you just same thing as Joe Rogan. If you know this athlete, and you probably do because maybe they're famous and they have a following, if you can connect a product, right, with an experience or with a person that is like an amazing person, an amazing athlete, whatever you want. For example, like Nike and Tiger Woods, right? Or Roger Federer and Rolex, right? All of these things are really, really important. This is what makes a brand. So if you can also implement whitelisting, it's going to decrease your cost per acquisition, first of all, by 20-30% if you do it well. And it's a really cool strategy. And this is how it works. On Facebook ads, on Meta ads, you connect the creator, the IG creator, the Facebook page of the creator, and then you just run ads to the website, and then the ad essentially looks a lot more authentic. The most important thing here is to make sure that the ads are coherent. You can't use the page of Isabel and then have Becky, which is a completely different person, brunette, and maybe the creator, the page that you're using is a blonde girl, right? You have to have coherence between the creator and the pages, right? It needs to make sense. Overall, these are the major takeaways that I'm seeing. Leverage podcast, guys, on and do YouTube collaborations. Really, really highly recommend. Amazing traffic source. And also just the free gift, just so we get that out of the way. This is the free gift. It's my universal sheet that I'm showing you over here, which has all of these inspo links, 600 different hooks, a document with 600 different hooks that we have. Daily reports, you can create a copy. There's a link down below. Go get it. You can plug in your numbers here. Everything is color coded. MER, sales, CPMs, all that stuff, and then ad copies, visuals, UGC tracker, storyboards, email campaigns, CRO tracker, email flows. There's a lot of resources that are really, really useful, including an ROI calculator that you can use to kind of make like predictions on, your current version of the business, the improved version, the results at scale. You can kind of do like projections, which is really, really important if you want to be super analytical. This alone increases enterprise value, because if you're looking to sell a business and the business buying that wants to buy your business is seeing all of these really, really cool sheets, and they're seeing that you're documenting everything, it's going to increase the perceived value of your offer, and you can probably charge more, or at least have a higher chance of closing a deal. Okay. This being said, if you're a brand doing at least $100,000 a month, plus or minus, and you want to explore the opportunity of potentially having somebody that doesn't steal equity but acts as an equity holder to get you to that next level, whether that next level is 500K a month, $1 million a month, $3 million a month, we have the capacity to work with clients, just because we only work with 10 to 12 and we have like 15, 20 team members. Okay. So that is one of our own value proposition. The clients that we work with matter. And so if you want to book a call, we can have an audit, and then we can explore the opportunity of working together. And regardless of either if we work together or not, it's going to be a super valuable call, because it's going to be an audit and we can go through a lot of cool information together and resources as well. With that being said, I'll see you on the booked call, hopefully, and definitely see you in the next video. Bye.